Hey, hey, hey. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me again. This is Crypto Cliff Notes. We are here on a slow Sunday. Um, Give me 1 second. You hit mute on that for me. We are here on definitely a slow Sunday. Uh, some of our team is traveling and can't make it. And so we're just going to go ahead and let this conversation flow best as we can. Well, listen, there's a lot to talk about. That's for sure, if nothing else. There's a lot to talk about. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. I was entertaining 1 week, and then the next week, Super Bowl Sunday, and people's attentions were split. Either which way, thank you for tuning back in with us. So here today we have Lydia and Rudy. Tried and true, almost always here. Another one of our staples is traveling today. He thought he would be at his destination by now, but unfortunately, he is not. So, but once again, Crypto Cliff Notes is our little crypto roundtable that we have formed. And what this does is basically each one of us do our own research. We're not claiming to be crypto experts, although we're all getting better and better and better. And we bring the information back in bite-sized bits that are easily discernible and easier to swallow, right? We know that if nothing else, crypto has gaggles of information out there, and that information can be dizzying. So even if you have the wherewithal to participate, a lot of people don't know where to start. So we do a couple of things every week. One is we decipher and break down some of the information that we learned the previous week. And then we go into some basics so that people understand some of the foundational parts of what made crypto. Okay. And so ongoing, we just enjoy kind of being both a teacher and a student week after week after week. So thank you for joining us. And without a doubt, this is brought to you by LEXEON. LEXEON is a platform where you can learn, earn, and execute. So basically, LEXEON is a platform that once you start participating, you'll earn money, you'll learn about crypto, and it will give you the wherewithal, both resources and information to execute on some of the deals that you hear us talking about in forums like this. So really excited to get started. I'm gonna take people off mute. I'm just hearing some crazy, feedback. So I'm gonna take people off mute. Everybody can say hello, introduce themselves. I'll start off with Lydia and Rudy. If you're gonna turn your camera on, that would be fantastic. So Lydia, go ahead.
Hey everybody, it's Lydia, and just here to learn and share as much as I can, and ready to talk about what's going on in the market.
Which is a whole lot, undoubtedly. So, Rudy, if you can, go ahead, bless us. If you can turn on your camera, even better. Thanks.
Hey,
You're not
what's
on
up,
mute.
everyone?
Yeah.
There I am, a little bit close. What's up, everybody? It's me, Rudy. I'm always coming with a passive income with a crypto stream, so I'll be talking a little bit about that today.
Great. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about that was just like, I don't even understand what's going on. Actually, Courtney was one that suggested this whole thing about Bitcoin versus altcoins in this bear market. We kind of touched on it before. It's definitely worth taking another look at again. But without starting there, let me just talk about what's on a lot of people's minds and has not. Every conversation I have had has brought this up recently. Is what is going on in Canada with, can I say, and first of all, let me say this. This is a crypto show. right? We're talking about crypto and crypto strategies, right? And we have said but not said we don't get political here. But what the hell is going on in Canada with this convoy? Not with the convoy. Forget about the convoy. I don't care what side of the fence you're on with that. But with people being able, or with the government being able to shut off people's money, not just their bank accounts, their crypto accounts. Come on. Who's heard about it? What people saying about it? Any feedback from the peanut gallery?
Well, I mean, it's really quite shocking what's going on. Basically, the government pretty much can do anything what they want. They, if without a court order, they can shut down your deposits of cryptocurrencies and order any centralized exchange. And that's a key word, centralized exchange. They could stop you from putting any cryptocurrency in, like buying any cryptocurrency or selling any cryptocurrency, and they can shut down your bank account because you choose to donate to a political, any political organization. And like you said, this is not a political take, but it's it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of uh, you know what can I do if I want to if I want to do something with my money, like what can the government come in and do? So we're at a very interesting stage right now in terms of cryptocurrency and DeFi, because I think people are going to be looking at alternatives with cryptocurrency and alternative to centralized exchange. Like if the government has that much power without a court order, without any form of official legal, legal recourse, they can just come in and make a decision, and people are going to be looking at alternatives. So it's pretty interesting case. It's a pretty interesting case, and it just goes to show. It just goes to show that not even cryptocurrency is it's going to be. Are you popping up something right there? There it is.
Uh,
Yeah.
Sorry, keep on rolling, Ruds. I'm gonna
Yeah.
show this a
No, I
little
was
bit.
just saying that it's I think 5 years ago this wouldn't have. I think 2 years ago this wouldn't have been possible. But now they've registered all the centralized exchange are now registered. They're sending your personal information into the government. Um, the centralized organization that don't do it, they pretty much count them as being illegal entities, and they pretty much shut them down. So a lot of people are going to be looking into decentralized way of, I guess, treating cryptocurrency and moving cryptocurrency around. So I think that's
So,
something that everyone should look at.
you were the one that shared this in the group, so I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but wow,
No,
it's been on my mind. See, okay, so let me just say, beyond anything else, there was a time, a lot of people call a lot of things, I won't even go into the conspiracy theory or whatever, but we talked about this. We talked about this. Um, I'll just say beginning of 2020, whatever else happened there too, right? I'm not going to go into what else happened at that time, beginning of 2020, but you know what I'm saying. Um,
yeah,
and we said it was going to come to this, and we know about, this concept of the Great Reset, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not going to get into the political stuff, but this is a major thing. And so people were thinking, okay, I'm in crypto, so I'm good. I'm free. I'm,
yeah,
I'm beyond this. And the bottom line is that, and I don't mean to be, tongue in cheek when I say this, but if you're in crypto and you're in crypto lazy, by what I mean by lazy is you're in crypto and you have an account, and you have an account that has how you say, um, a reset password. You have an account that is They know they have your know your customer laws.
KYC.
Know your customer laws. Just
That's
simply, if
right.
you're there, you are centralized. And we're
Yeah.
not saying anything's wrong with centralized, but please know that centralized really means that if you do something that your government does not agree with, now people are saying this is just Canada. If it
It's
happens in
definitely not.
Canada, it can happen anywhere,
It's going
right?
to happen anywhere. It's
It's
going to
going to
happen
happen. This is
anywhere.
the testing grounds for whatever.
Yeah.
And for some people, they're like, who cares? I love my government. The government's great. Everything they say, I do. And I'm like, great, good for you. But for those who have come on to or gotten into crypto to get some sort of autonomy, this is not necessarily the way to do it, right? And I just want to go down here. You guys let me know if my sound is okay, because I know sometimes
Yeah.
sound on
Yeah.
this is
You're loud and clear.
no. I'm going to play
Yeah.
this video if I can.
Sure.
Okay. Can you hear the sound?
Um, it's very low.
Better?
It's a little bit better. If you get them up a little bit more, that would be great.
Individuals and entities, as well as crypto wallets, have been shared by the RCMP with financial institutions,
Yeah.
and accounts have been frozen, and more accounts will be frozen. Crowdfunding platforms and payment service providers have started the registration process with FinTrack. In terms of the specifics on whose accounts are being frozen, you now have the regulations. The financial service providers have those regulations as well, and they, working with law enforcement, will be making the operational decisions.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm going to come back. I mean, were we ready for this? Who was ready for this?
I mean, I definitely wasn't ready for this. Like, I didn't think this would happen so fast. But the ability to freeze your account without any official court order, without any getting your opportunity in court. I mean, that's huge. And we're not here to discuss the political affiliations, like whether you want to support this this party or this organization or this movement. We're just talking about giving someone the opportunity to go through the legal process before they just come in and freeze all your information, freeze all your account. If I'm voting conservative, or if I'm voting, um, you know, uh, to a specific political organization, and the government doesn't like it, they can just come in and oops, freeze all your assets.
That they say that was a big concern, right? Like whether that is, if you do something they don't like, if you support something they don't like, if you say something they don't like, and the next step, we all know that all governments are talking about the switch over to a government regulated digital currency. So how quick could they turn you off if in 10 years? Forget about this vaccine, right? 90%, 80% of the people are already vaccinated. That's not the big concern. But what happens when it's another vaccine or behavior or I keep on bringing up Demolition Man, right? Where you get demerits and you get, say, do you remember that movie from the, what is it, 90s, 80s, 90s? This is something
Yeah.
that is super scary. And I don't know, Lydia, I've been rambling. Any thoughts on this?
I think the key takeaway for anybody in the crypto space is not to get confused with the difference between fiat, which is currency, and cryptocurrency. In decentralized, the ideal crypto world, this wouldn't happen. It could never happen. It would be impossible. And I hope that this just propels the advancement of cryptocurrency overall, because any centralized cryptocurrency, any centralized coin is basically a remix of the dollar because the government controls it. So it's not necessarily to be like afraid of crypto. It's not to take your foot off the gas pedal when it comes to investing. It's just to get wiser and smarter and to start supporting the coins and the industries that are truly like staying committed to keeping cryptocurrency decentralized, trustless, with no ultimate controls capped by any government, any country, any group of countries, North America, South America, Russia. And so this, we just have to watch and see how it plays out. I think it's super wrong though for that part of it. Like, I'm mind blown. The government will do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, before I jump in with my official thoughts, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
And I just want to say that, you know, I don't think anybody here supports any terrorist organization or illegal activities. But like someone who wants to have the choice of, you know, someone wants to have the choice of freedom of choice, so to speak, of moving their digital currency around and not having to worry about this. Like, what's the alternative from centralized exchange?
I think there's a couple of things that's going to happen, I think, from this, and hopefully happen fast. So I think the first thing I mentioned today, or the only real thing I mentioned today, was get your coins in a self-controlled fashion, right? A cold storage wallet, something like that, right? So that's one way. But the other way is that the industry has to become, how can I say, involved, right? Like, I'm not giving strategies on how to usurp or skirt government or taxes or anything like that. We're just talking about freedoms, right?
Yeah.
So the key phrase I heard when I heard about this is that it wasn't that they were freezing crypto accounts. What they were doing was eliminating the off ramp from a crypto account into the ability to convert that to fiat, right? So which means if you have $1 million of Bitcoin and you are trying to change $1 million of Bitcoin to fiat, or of any coin, of any coin or token, whatever, you cannot get any of that money back into your bank account. So what are your options at that point? You have to be, the industry itself has to be kind of willing to accept fiat. Accept crypto, right? So if you go to a gas station, since we're talking about truckers, you know what I mean? The gas station should be able to accept crypto. Because if you can't get $60 out to pay for gas, right, not in cash, then, you know, the only other thing is, well, can you take my crypto direct? What else is there? Am I missing something? Because there's nothing else. Or tell me if I'm wrong. I'm open.
One of the alternatives is using decentralized exchange, like local Bitcoin, and even that has its limitations because in order to actually trade on that platform, you need to to have some sort of KYC operational standard that they've implemented, but it's a lot less rigid than say the banking industry is. I mean, there's literally less than 10 banks in the entire Canada, like major banks, anyways. Probably 5 major ones. and they've got to follow their AML KYC policies if the government comes in. Whereas local Bitcoin it's basically what local Bitcoin is you've got cryptocurrency traders, and each one, depending on how much volume they trade, they may have to do some sort of KYC compliance. So local Bitcoin enables people to trade amongst themselves. So I don't think they have the heavy regulatory compliance like, let's say, a big bank does. So that's one way in converting the cryptocurrency to fiat, is by using a decentralized exchange like local Bitcoin. I think there's another one called local coin swap. And I think even Binance has an over-the-counter swap where you can pretty much just trade with each other, like I guess you can call it like a Craigslist exchange. So you just trade with someone else.
Yeah,
There
that
is some risk
sounds.
involved. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said that sounds good. My question, I guess, if that is the case,
hmm
you still have to accept the money into what? Don't you still have to accept the money into your bank account? Doesn't the money
Yeah, yeah.
somehow, and so that's the thing, is that it's
Well,
not being stopped before that, it's being stopped to get into your bank account once you're on one of their lists.
well, yeah, you're right. It's a challenge. I mean, you can. There's an option for cash, but there's a limit to that. Like if you're doing, I guess, anything under, say, $5,000, you can trade with someone for cash. But once you get into numbers over 5 figures, that's not going to be really feasible. People are not going to want to, and rightfully so. Someone should not be able to, feel comfortable trading cash for large sums of money. So it's a challenge. So it's definitely that's something that individuals got to look at. I mean, another alternative is to use, uh, you know, organizations like banking institutions that are not in
So
that certain area, like maybe the Caribbean, maybe what's the alternative? Switzerland. Like that's some alternative where they'll be able to.
that's yeah, that's gonna
So
be that's
it'll be
kind
a
of
challenge.
yeah, it's a challenge. So anyways, I'm gonna get away from the doom and gloom. Prior to this, well, it's been on the minds for a couple of weeks now, but when the bomb dropped earlier this week, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
what the, so sorry, but I had to start this off by dealing with that. um so what else is happening in this market, this bear market that we're seeing? What's your take on that? Or I know, Rudy, you're looking at some projects that look exciting. Lydia
Mhm.
as well. Let's go ahead and segue over um, to what your main topics were coming in, so that we don't have this cloud hovering over our head tonight.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Go ahead, Lydia, if
Rudy?
you want to go.
Oh,
Well, for me, like I believe in the past, I've really spoken about node as a service projects,
yeah.
and they're becoming extremely popular. Like a lot of projects are beginning to roll out. So I've been looking at quite a few. I've been talking over the last over the next couple of weeks. I'll be speaking about a few of them. So basically, node as a service projects, extremely popular. Very good income source. If the
Hmm.
research is done correctly and if you get in early to these projects. But it's getting quite competitive. A lot of new people are coming into the space, and I believe one of the projects that we talked about is the Gala music notes, um,
Yes, yes.
where so maybe if you want to touch on that, but those present a huge opportunity. There's not much information on the actual ROI on that project, but pretty much running a node for uh, uh, music, Gala music on a decentralized platform. Like it's a very interesting project, and pretty much you become a little record company by yourself, a small little piece of a record company, sharing the profits of the artist. The artists get more percentage of their cut, and you sharing that by hosting, a node. And every time someone plays that music, you get a percentage of it. So I believe I believe that project has got a huge upside, and they're partnered with Snoop Dogg, I believe, who just bought Dead Row Records. So
Yeah.
we're living in some interesting times. We're in some interesting times. If it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes from now. Like, it's got a huge upside potential.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And we spoke about something, and I need to flesh it out more, because Rudy, you and I said something about, we had a difference of opinion on what a node was, if you remember one time, right? And I was saying, no, you have to provide some level of um, liquidity, and you're like, no, that's not it. But I'm still kind of hovering in that definition of a node, because from what I
Okay.
remember, and once again, correct me again, because sometimes I need to hear it 2 or 3 times. Um,
Sure, no problem.
because what I do remember about a node is that to buy a node, you have to come in with a certain amount. Like, there's a minimum to buy a node. Some people will allow you to buy their position, and not buy their position in it, well, something like that, buy their position in a node, which is usually a cheaper node space. So they'll like kind of
Okay.
sublet their position in a node. But to really buy a node, what you're doing is you're buying a certain amount of that native coin, right? So that you could finance transactions, or you can have the liquidity of transactions going through of that local of that native coin, which is why in order to become a node, you have to buy a minimum of that coin. Am I wrong here?
Um, you're not wrong, but you're also not right. You're sort of in the middle. So
I like being in the
what
middle.
so technically, I won't get into the technical aspect of what a node is. I'll just go with the basic definition, and that it's a piece of equipment virtually that sits on a piece of server that that's responsible for sending and receiving information. So I think that's the base explanation of what a node is. So a node on a cryptocurrency platform is responsible for relaying information for like transactions on that specific cryptocurrency platform. So now, if you jump into like the Gala music notes, like
Can you
I don't
Are
know
you
the.
looking at a screen
Pardon
right
me?
now? I would love to
I
pull the
was
project
hoping
up.
I was hoping to share the screen. One second, it's
Yeah,
taking a
thanks.
while to
You know,
pull
it's
up.
so
I'm going to
funny
just
because you guys
send.
sound like you're
Go
saying
ahead.
the same thing, just in two different ways. But it's actually helpful for the mind because, Rudy, you're saying that oh, you just said it, but basically, like you're assisting with the transaction. What did you just say? What was the phrase
It's
of
just
words that you
relaying.
used?
It's relaying
Relaying
transactions.
information.
Yeah, it's relaying
Right.
information.
And then, Andrea, you're
So
just like you're financing the transaction that's relaying the information. So,
Yeah, and not even, yeah, and maybe it's not even the financing, and maybe it's just a semantics of
so
terminology, but I just really
so
want to get that right.
so So the part where you're correct is that so a lot of people there's two different types of nodes that's going on in the DeFi world right now. There's real nodes, and then there's people that are using the word nodes as a buzzword to sort of how should I say this? They're using the word nodes as sort of a buzzword for a DeFi as a service. So they will set up a platform where you buy a node and you get a certain return off your coin, and they will use it as a node, but it's not really doing anything so sort of specific. Like one field project in the past that's you want to do any research on it, it's called Ring Financial. And what Ring Financial was, They were a copy of Strongblock. And Strongblock, I believe we talked about that last week. But they didn't actually have any nodes. All they did was you purchased their native cryptocurrency, which was called Ring, and then they will reward you in their native cryptocurrency. Sort of like staking on steroids. So people who got in early did very well, and then eventually the sell pressure was too much, and the project just went down. The coin went down, and within the small amount of time, the coin just went all the way down to very little. So people who came in late didn't really make a lot of money, and people were upset. So those specific nodes didn't really do anything. Whereas real nodes, like one company, I'm just going to name companies that do real nodes, Pocket Network, which I'll talk about in the future, and Strongblock. They have real nodes. But the similarity in your explanation is that you still have to purchase their native cryptocurrency. So for the Pocket Network, you have to purchase 15,000 pockets to purchase one node. For Strongblock, you've got to purchase 10 Strongblocks to get one node. But when the nodes are it's actually set up, it's a physical device on a server that's responsible for in terms of the Pocket Network. That node is responsible for relaying information back and forth among the different networks, and you get a reward by actually providing that physical device. And in the similarity, Strongblock work in a similar way. It doesn't work the same as Pocket, but it's a real actual node. Like you're providing a real service on the blockchain to make the blockchain work efficiently. But in all circumstances, you've got to purchase their initial native token. So that's where you're similar. You got to put it up right there. We call them music notes. 1 second. Yeah, so there it is. And the reason why people are excited about the Gala music nodes is that Gala nodes have they have nodes that are used to run the games. And a year ago when it came out, it was about maybe $4,000 to set up a node. Now, if you want a Gala node, I think it's over $100,000. Like it's pretty much 25x to get a node, and the payout is incredible. I think one node probably pays out anywhere between $200 to $400 per day, and that's even in the bear market right now. So that's why the opportunity for Gala music nodes is pretty exciting, but it's very early in the project. So obviously you gotta do research, see the possibilities of it. Can't hear you. You're mute.
Sorry. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
We're talking about different ways to really participate in this, right? It's not all about getting into the earliest IDO or ICO. Sometimes it's a matter of understanding the different ways to participate in this industry and really getting into what best fits us. I remember when I first spoke about nodes, which is why it's kind of near and dear to my heart. I was a Facebook group that has around 40,000 people now called, if you don't know about it, check it out, Black People in Cryptocurrency. And they did a webinar on nodes, not just about nodes, but the fact that we were trying to put a group together to become a node for certain projects that were coming out. So this was, you had to come with your money, you had to buy the native token, and you had to be prepared to, as said, especially back then, because it's like 2017, not that long ago, but still, right? In order to keep transactions flowing fast, you had to have enough of that currency, so when people did something, you didn't have to wait for the full transaction to take place. You would kind of slide yours in and then pull theirs once the current transaction actually completed. So that's the reason why I'm very, very specific about this, because from what I knew, being a node was a much more active situation. And when you were talking, Rudy, about there being two types of nodes, that's the reason why I was like, I agree with that, because there must be the terminology has changed quite a bit with what's going on now. Any other statement, Lydia? Anything on that, or you good?
No, I think that was good.
Okay, cool. So, Rudy, I know you're Mr. Passive Income. I do have something I'm going to try and pull up, but you have anything on, you told me about something that I know you're kind of excited about. You want to sprinkle them just a little bit? You want to mention it? One of your mining, which one of your mining projects?
I like Planet Watch. Planet Watch is a company that they do ear monitoring, and they give rewards by providing ear quality data back to the company. Now, initially, when I heard about this project, it sounded very boring, and it didn't sound any feasible to me. Like, how are you making money with ear quality data? And I sadly passed on it, regretfully passed on it. It's a $1 billion industry, and a lot of Fortune 500 companies want to know what their ear quality is, and they're willing to spend a big amount of money for it. So, what this company does, similarly to Helium, is that they're setting up a network of people that will monitor the ear quality and provide data back to the company, and they want to pay out back in their native cryptocurrency, which is called planets. So I don't know, maybe Andrew, you can pull up the website. It's called Planet Watch. I'll put it in the chat, dude.
Okay.
Planet Watch. That's, give me a second. I think it's planetwatch.us.
.us. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, let me make sure I got it first, and then.
But yeah, the fun part about this project is that the ROI, you're able pretty much to make a return back on the investment in as quickly as say 2 to 4 months, whereas that is pretty unheard of, and it's a lot easier than say projects like Helium, where you've got to have the right antenna, you got to have the right location. This one, you just pretty much set it up and you just forget about it. There it is. So, the company, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Now, I'll say the company has a partnership with CERN. CERN is one of the biggest organizations that they do a lot of high-level physics stuff, anything to do with nuclear energy and nuclear research, and this is a really large, anything to do with nuclear fission, particle accelerator, like that high-level physics stuff. They've got a huge partnership with. So that's real. That's incredible. So like I said earlier, like ear quality, it's not really that exciting.
It's not sexy.
It's not exciting. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like like whereas it doesn't really like ring a bell. But what does ring a bell is the earning potential.
So what have you heard about as far as the earning is?
Well, the basic, maybe you can you scroll up? I can just go in.
Yeah.
Just scroll up for a second.
Where to?
This is the top part. So if you go to the sensors, I just want to have the sensors on, like scroll up all the way up to the top.
It's all the way up.
Yes, go by.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sensors. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then go to sensors. So scroll down a little bit. Yeah, so these sensors, so the type 3, I'm just going to talk about the type 3 sensor. So this So that's an
Okay.
outdoor sensor, and that one gives you the highest return. That outdoor scroller first, the one that looks like, I don't know, like some weird device.
This
That
one.
no, just one more.
That's it. This is 1. This is 2.
That's
This
type.
is 3.
Yeah, okay, it's Alpha Common Design. So the type one, that's their most profitable miner or sensor, whatever you want to call it, and you can see they've increased their price for this year, as all mining company does because of the demand. But that device, the little device, providing that you're the main miner in that area and there's no other miners around, will give you 133 planets per day, which at I don't know the price right now, but I think the last price it hovers between 20 to 30 cents. I'm just going to go with 30 cents for now. So 133 times 30 cents. How much is that? That's
1/3. So
that's around, do a quick math.
yeah.
That's around $30-$40 a day. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go with $30 a day. So that's about $1,000 per month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
So
and so as the planets begin to be worth more money, then it will obviously go up.
mhm.
So are you saying that the every day the guarantee is 133 planets a day regardless?
It is pretty much based on what I've seen on pretty close. You're looking at around 80 to 90%. That's what you get on average.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the problem with these things to me, right? Just because I could tell you what we went through in order to get helium miners is to participate. Even if you're up on something right now, to finally get your hands on any of these devices that allow you to participate, it can be a real issue. Um, I don't know, Lydia. Do you have any ears or eyes on any projects you want to discuss?
Not any new ones that we haven't talked about. It's been a little bit of a transition season for me, so I'll be bringing up some new ones, but I'm still just dollar cost averaging into the old ones.
Understood. I mean, there's a lot of things that I wanted to participate in that I haven't yet. But wait till LEXEON hits and I can really go ham. that's, when, that's when I'll be. That's when I'll be talking about some things in a different way. But I did want to share just a project that right now I'm here, and even when I can't participate, I am sharing in the successes of my friends and counterparts. I have a client, and um, we were talking, and he said he got into crypto, and he only does early stage projects. And this is a project called Lucky Block. You can still get it. It just got listed on Binance. There's always a pullback, and especially in this bear market. But let me explain to you short term what this project does. Well, first of all, let me explain to you how he got in and what he received. So he got in a couple of months ago for $190. He has since made over $10,000 off of this one. 190 to 10 grand. Hello. Let me know what you're looking at in your study styles, because I need to be studying with you. So this is a type of thing we want to start to be able to bring you before it busts on Crypto Cliff Notes. So that's a great thing. But the project itself, and let me be really clear about why I'm talking about this one. I really like projects, oopsie, that that mimic people's habits, right? And especially when their habits are hard to break. And I hate to say it, I hate to act like I'm exploiting people's weaknesses. But the thing about this one, so hear me out. so you buy their native token, and which is on Pancake Swap, by the way. And this project, you can buy lottery tickets internationally. So no matter what lottery you buy and who wins, the people who own this token are getting a percentage of the full pot. So imagine if everybody who bought the lotto or the Powerball, right? Imagine if you were one of those people who, no matter who won, whether you won or not, because you own this token, that for the millions of people who put money in, you get a percentage of that every week or every day. And I think they are doing daily lotteries. So as this becomes more popular, there's still you are the schools. You know how they say that what they're doing is giving back to the schools? I never heard them give back to no damn schools yet. That most lottos, maybe they do. I'm not, don't count me on that. But imagine if you were the schools that they were giving to off of every lottery. This is the type of thing that makes me excited, because it's not just a coin that has speculation. This is a project that will keep the people who know about it coming back to participate, to do something they're going to do anyhow. If you're a gambler or you buy lottery tickets, you're going to do it anyhow. And this is another way to do it. And you could win without winning. So to me, that's really exciting. Any thoughts on that, guys? You're muted, Rudy. Go ahead.
That looks like an exciting project. I've heard about is the no loss lottery. Is that similar to the no loss lottery?
You've been talking about that for a long time.
Yeah.
You've been talking about that type of thing. I don't know if we've talked about anyone's particular name,
No.
but you've been talking about that concept. And I guess in the grand scheme of things, by definition, that could be what this is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe those have a huge opportunity. I mean, it's pretty groundbreaking. Where if you can, if my understanding of it is, you can put your money in, and there's no chance of you losing your money, but there's a huge chance of you winning big. And it's weekly. I mean, the draws are weekly. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
I think it's actually daily. I think so. Let me just say this. He got the money before listing, right?
Okay.
So once again, $190 buy-in, over $10,000 he made on it. He was so excited. He gave me a list of a few other names I'm going to check out and put into our group. So by the way, if you guys haven't, please join Crypto Cliff Notes. I promise I'm going to be a little bit more active in the upcoming time. But yeah, these are the things that we want to start learning about. As we all know, there's a bunch of information. There's a bunch of projects. What we want to do is to get them, especially if they're pre-hit, break them down really simply into layman's terms so that the masses of us can get a quick understanding and decide whether we want to participate. This is a way that we want to kind of pool our efforts and share knowledge, right? Like, I shouldn't have to bring you an hour worth of information on one project. If I could break it down to 3 minutes and let you, just like how I did, and figure out whether this is something you want to participate in, this is the help that I think we need, right? So this is what I want to keep on doing, is bringing projects, especially pre-launch projects. Let's get it out. Let's get it out in a timely fashion. And especially when we start earning those LEXEON dollars, let's being able to participate. Listen, I don't want to drag this out. We talked about a few things, right? I still have the friggin' first topic in mind. It's hovering over my heart. I'm so saddened by what's happening, but I'm so excited about the opportunities that are still out there. So unless anybody else has anything else to say, anybody?
No,
we're gonna jump.
That's about it. I think we covered a lot today.
Yeah.
I think we will probably discuss more about what happened in Canada and the blocking of the cryptocurrency accounts. So
Oof,
I think that's going to be ongoing discussion and debate.
it's going to be ongoing discussion. So let's go ahead and do that. Everybody who's listening, anybody who wants to participate, do me a favor. Do your research, at least an hour for the week. DM us. And if you want to share something, if you think you have a project that we should know about, and if you could summarize that in 5 minutes or less, you are welcome to come on, share, sprinkle people with knowledge so that we could participate in winning this game. That's what this is all about. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me. It's been a couple of weeks off. We're just getting our wheels back rolling. So let's go ahead and make this run as with the weeks go forward. So with this, thank you once again. We are brought to you by LEXEON. Learn, earn, and execute. Make that money and spend it in the right places. That's what we do. Alrighty. Have a great one, and thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay.